Hello Taurus and good morning. Welcome back to Path of Enlightenment Tarot. For those of you returning to the channel, welcome back. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I am Nicole. Taurus, this is going to be your mid-February 2024 reading, or for the remainder of February, as we're checking right through it so quickly. So we'll just call it an energy update for you guys. Taurus, this will be for your sun, your moon, your rising, and your Venus cross watcher. If that's you, welcome to the channel as well. Discern the messages accordingly. For all of those of you who have liked, shared, subscribed, and commented, booked personal readings, and donated to the channel, I am so eternally grateful. So thank you all for all of your love and support. I could not do what I do without all of you. So thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, Taurus, chance. Oh boy, Taurus. Be careful how you're directing things. We have to take smart, calculated risk in anything that we do, right? We've got to be willing to jump and leap into something for ourselves. But the directive, how it's being directed, could be a problem. It could be. I'm not going to go there yet. I'm not going to go there yet. We'll address that another day. Because I don't feel like that's just for Taurus. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see what comes up. All right, Taurus. So, I don't know. Pay attention to how you're stating things. It's your perception. Authenticity. I feel like some... Oh, boy. All right. I feel like somebody's being triggered here. There is change, certainty, prayers, good luck. Okay, Taurus. I have to laugh. I have to, because if I'm thinking of the right thing, this makes sense. Okay, so let's go with this. One, you see me, I keep looking up this way, and granted, I tend to look in a specific direction when spirit is coming through. It's just how it is for me. It's like they grab my attention in that way, and then I kind of tune into that. It's weird. But Taurus, this is like, spirit is showing me some shadows up here. That's why I keep looking that direction. Careful of the shadow side of yourself. I feel like, Taurus, there has been something, and I see this back and forth energy for you guys. I've said it 1,000 times. You're probably sick of hearing me say it. But there's been something, whether it's the past year, 2 years, spirit's even going 3, that either has fallen apart or has just deconstructed somehow. I get the feeling of some sort of bitterness that sits with this, whether this is you or somebody else. Taurus, I feel like for some of you, and this isn't going to resonate for all of you, so take it. If it fits, great. If it doesn't, that's all right too. That it's like you're so tired of being down when it comes to something. Something's very, very specific for each of you. It's like, well, fine, then I'm going to make my own luck. And that's cool. You know, that's, you know, taking the bull by the horns, Taurus, and going, what direction am I going, right? Smoke. I get the image of the bull. You ever, like the cartoons, like Yosemite Sam and stuff and all those? That bull is blowing smoke with all that big puffy air out its nostrils. And it's like, I'm deciding with certainty on that particular point. That's just the way it is. What bothers me about this card, what I'm being drawn to, is his face. Not the brain functionality that's happening up here, all the different compartmentalizations that he could do, but how there is nothingness in his face. There's no emotion. There is a cold, detached look. It's like dummy energy, right? You think about like the mannequins and stuff like that. They have no feeling. They're not aware of that feeling. And change. Taurus, I feel like something, and I've seen that projection, and now we've got perception here, is coming to the surface that is boiling up thoughts, emotions, and I feel like Spirit is trying to shake you loose of that numbness that has been. You could, Spirit just said, write your senator. I don't know what that means for you, but okay, note made. No idea, Taurus. I just deliver the messages. You may, this is such a crazy, some of these messages that are coming out today are nuts. This card says, they say that no man is an island. Taurus, if you think for a holy second, here we go, I'm going to get the whip out here, that you alone can make everybody follow a certain path or direction, it's not going to happen. You can't make someone else see it the way you want to see it. And I think that that stubbornness that comes in with you guys, right, in all fixed signs, so Aquarius, Leo, Scorpio, and Taurus, you can't make somebody else see something they don't want to see. You also can't make somebody else see it through the lens of your eyes. And what I think is happening here with this certainty card is also like, you're not even willing to see it. There's something that's blocking your awareness, and it's probably coming from a space of bitterness and going, I'm going to change this. It's not yours to change. The only thing you can change, Taurus, is who you are. And as I say that, there is the change card, which I forgot was even sitting there, and authenticity. You can't preach authenticity. You can't tell others to live in authenticity when you yourself are not living in it. It's like, do as I say, not as I do. It's broken, it's fragmented. There's a deep, I would love to say awareness, Taurus, but there's not. I'm going to say you could have a friend who maybe they're going through something, and you both have gone through it, right? Both have dealt with whatever this is, and you're telling them how to do things. But yet, you yourself are not setting the example. And I'm going to say for some of you, when it comes to a parent-child relationship, Spirit's giving me this, that you have to set the example. It's like telling your kids don't smoke, but you sit there and smoke every day, and they see you do it. What example are you setting? Right? And I'm not knocking anybody who smokes, because I'm a smoker, so like I'm not knocking anybody. But when it comes to what you're teaching, preaching, advising, you can't do it from a place that isn't authentic itself for you. Something you're not living and doing, you know. And yeah, like we want, you know, especially with our children, right? If that's what you've got going on, we want to teach our children to not make our mistakes, right? But we also can't continue to make those mistakes in front of them and then say, don't do this. I hope that's making sense for you guys. I keep hearing the word skills. There's a competition around skills. Who the fuck are you competing with and why? Is it romantically? Is it professionally? Is it personally? 10. I'm going to tell you guys, and Taurus, this is not going to be for all of you, because some of you I'm seeing make good changes. I mean, truly. But when I seen that 10, all I could see was the 10 of Swords. And oddly enough to me, I'm seeing that 10 of Swords as self-sabotage. It's like lighting a match and then walking away from the disaster. You being the catalyst for this craziness and then going, oh, I stirred the shit pot, now I'm going to walk away from it. Or again, Taurus, you could be dealing with somebody like this. Okay? Just put it where it fits for you. I don't know if you're writing something, needing to write something. There's a massive emphasis on putting words to, especially an email. There's something about an email coming in. Whether you've thought about emailing somebody or texting somebody something, but it's like there's some kind of electronic communication that is happening around this particular situation. It's almost like, you ever see that meme where they're like, they start texting like their wife and like, oh, you know, you make dinner, and then they delete it, and then they go, honey, it would be great if you made, you know, the meatloaf that is so good, instead of going, you fucking figure it out, you know, that kind of thing. Like, it's changing the way that the delivery of what you're saying and or doing is coming through. Spirit just said there's always a nicer way. Maybe, you know, bull by the horns, you know, talking about the bull, like breathing out real hard and being able to see that energy, that frustration, that aggression, the anger. Why are you in that energy? Where is that coming from? Because, you know, spiritually, that's a deep-seated resentment, projection, fear. It's a fear that lives within you when you're in that space. And if you're dealing with somebody, Taurus, watch where they operate from. Is it fear? That they're not enough, they're not going to be good enough, they can't compete. They see their world changing whether they want to or not. Things aren't the same way they used to be. They got complacent. Taurus, could be you. Fixed sign, right? I'm a Scorpio myself. Fixed energy myself. I get it. Change is a son of a bitch. So, and as I say that, there's oh, look at this. You can't make it up. Fear and retribution. Fear and retribution. Afraid that you're going to miss out on something. What are you going to miss out on? An old way of doing things? The times are changing, Taurus, and the ands, buts, and exceptions no longer work. Okay? So let's see. Let's see. For Taurus, mid-February, what does Taurus need to know? What does Taurus need to know, Spirit? Fragility. I talked about that fragmented energy. Taurus, I love you guys, know this, please. There is a weakness here with this fragility. This is that exhaustion point that's coming in. You can only run full speed ahead for so long until all of a sudden, kaboom. Right? It's like you're trying to stay consistent in something that you said, something that you've done, something you've obligated to yourself to. Consistency breaks down to a 5. You're self-sacrificing, self-sabotaging. Because it's like you're trying to stay ahead of something, and you can't. Your creative flow could be blocked. The way your mind is perceiving things with this fragility could be very cattywampus, just like all over the place, right? Like, I don't know, I feel like my world's crumbling. Taurus, I don't know, you know, we had the North and South Node, and I've talked about this before, in Taurus and Scorpio for some time, and then until July 17th of last year. You guys sat in the North Node, right? So this is more destiny, fate, Scorpio sat in the south, you know, I say retribution, oh my goodness. Karmic patterns, cycles. Scorpio went through it. Taurus, I'm going to just say it this way. You were on top of the wheel, but Taurus has went through this evolutionary kind of process, this wake-up call to some things. For whatever reason, Taurus, and I've seen this time and again here lately, and that's what caught my attention about this, so I'm finally going to say this. Because you were in the North Node and not the South Node during that specific period of time, there could have been things that should have been done differently, whether it was on your part or the experience. You weren't quite ready for it. Or for some of you, I'm going to say some of you kind of caught a hold of that wheel while it was on top and said, I'm going to do life differently. I'm going to make these changes. I'm going to be in a state of flow with the universe. And I feel like I'm talking to my Tauruses that have a lot of healing left to do. And I mean, we all have healing to do, so don't take that as like a knock to you guys. But part of being spiritual, part of opening yourself up, part of the experience is to hold yourself accountable. And when, you know, we can get into it and then we can fail to be accountable. And then we can get back into being accountable and fail to be accountable again. But for some of you, there's a real hard, I don't want to use the word awareness. There's a real hard matter-of-fact thing coming in that says, I had the opportunity to change during this particular period of time. I had the opportunity to grab a hold of a rank of that wheel and let it swing me up. Right? It's Stuart Little. Like, he'd grab a hold of things and pull himself up on top, right? To get to where he needed to be and do what he needed to do. I don't feel like you took that leap. I think I talked right in the very beginning of this read, which I don't remember most of it because it's not mine, it's for you. About taking the risk. 17:17 on the clock. If you want reward, you have to take a decisive risk. You have to be willing to change what you've done for so long, because the consistency, yeah, you did it, but now you're consistently sacrificing something of yourself. And P.S., here's the hunt, 17. You're not seeing the other side of what it is that you're doing, whether it's good or bad. And I think that's the nice thing about this reading, as much as I am like whomping on you guys, 222, by the way, is that for some of you in the positive flow, this is going to resonate, and you're like, yeah, I remember, you know, 6 months ago, a year ago, 2-3 years ago, that's where I was, and I had to figure that out for myself. And yes, Nicole, you're repeating and talking about the past. For those of you who have done this work, congratulations for putting in the work and the effort, because you've given yourself a space of freedom in your own life, even if you don't fully see it. For those of you who have yet to do this, this is your wake-up call. This is self-accountability. This is, I don't have the right to project my bullshit onto somebody else. It's not going to free me up. It's not going to make me feel better. It's going to pull in more resentment. And all the entire time, as I'm trying to prove a point or something to someone else, the only person I'm hurting is myself. Spirit also just said this could be somebody, to Taurus, that you haven't had contact with. I'm seeing it kind of like in the sense of needing forgiveness or offering forgiveness, one or the other, but could be both, right? It takes two people to make a situation. That if you haven't, 13 death cards, Scorpio, as I'm looking down here, that if you're hanging on to that resentment and the bitterness of another person, the only thing you're doing is drinking your own poison. They're trying to poison the other person and you're the one that's drinking it. Well, there you go. You're gulping it down. Congratulations. This is also about going back to that point in time where you started to sacrifice yourself because of your own feelings. It's like, I don't want to have to take accountability for a situation. I don't want to have to address this. I don't want to have to feel what this is. So I'm going to blame them, or I'm going to be angry with them. This is unhealed hurt. This is unhealed pain. This is unhealed trauma. It's a difficult pill to swallow, Taurus. Forgiveness is not about them. It's about you. Don't let your pride get in the way. Like, well, this is the way I've always done it, so this is the way I'm always going to do it. And it's like you're doing it to your own detriment. But now, like, as time builds up and you continue to drink that poison, it's a matter of time until you do yourself in. Stop. Whatever it is, stop. All right? Like, Taurus, I always feel bad that in a way that I'm like, I always feel like the messages that I do for Taurus are for those who are still trying to figure it out. And it's like tough love. It's like you need tough love. And, you know, not saying that I'm the one to give it to you, but these are the messages that come through via spirit. And I'm not going to sugarcoat things for you. Because if I did, would I really be helping you? No, I wouldn't be. It's not what you come here for. I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you the truth. And, you know, you think about the projection aspect of it. Again, are we leading by example, or are we just flapping off at the gums because fear has taken over our mind? Okay? I don't know. Crazy message this morning, but there it is. All right, Taurus, let's see. Past, present, future, mid-February. Those were a lot of the intuitives there. Past, present, future. Oh, 9 of Wands. The wounded warrior. Make sure you're not sitting in victim mentality. I told you I seen that 10 of Swords. You just watched that card jump. There it is. What did I say? 78 cards in a tarot deck, and that's one that comes out of 2. 9 of Wands. Beat up. Spirit is calling it restricted. And I could see why with this 9 of Wands, because she's standing behind the fence. It's blocking her. All she has to do is lift her freaking leg and step over the hurdle. That's it. Almost there. Almost done. But it's like, no, I'm going to stand in this conviction of where I am. I'm going to stand behind the fence. Do you feel protected behind that fence in the past? Because it's become self-sabotage. It's leaving you out to dry. It's leaving you on your own. Like, you're standing there, you're taking a look at it, everything else that's going on around you. Everybody else is working, Spirit is saying. But what are you doing? 3 of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles, 6 of Cups. And I'm going to tell you guys, too, if you're not familiar with me, I don't follow, for the most part. I mean, I will tell you what the traditional meanings of the cards are, but it's intuitive. I could sit here and do a reading. A lot of the times, a lot of the readings that I do when I get started, I might pull a card, and the first 5, 10, 15 minutes is nothing but intuitive messages. I don't need cards to do my job. My connection with Spirit is all that I need. I use them because, well, they're pretty. Right? There we go. Some extra fluff. But this is about, you know, taking a look at yourself. As much as you have the 3 of Pentacles, but it's like, I'm going to look at everybody else's work and the way it was done before. The problem with this, Taurus, is I don't see you reinventing the wheel. You're going back to a past situation. There's inner childhood healing that needs to happen. It's like other things around you grew, but there's something within you that hasn't. It's like you're sitting on your emotions and you're letting them boil to the surface. Spirit is saying, showing your face. I don't know what that means for you. Very, very crazy energy here, Taurus. All right. Present energy for Taurus, mid-February, please, Spirit. Taurus, if this isn't you and this is someone you're dealing with, I'm not a fan. If they're telling you, you need to take, I don't know why I want to say this, you need to take care of your finances, do it this way, do it that way. And meanwhile, they haven't made their car payment in 3 months. And I'm not knocking anybody, right? But it's like how, you know, our circumstances are all different. Thank you, Spirit. It's judgment. It's a judgmental energy. It's a judgmental energy that someone, either you or this other side of this situation, is sitting in. You're judging. Queen of Wands coming, or Queen of Swords, I'm sorry, coming out sideways. Gemini energy, the lovers. Libra, Aquarius, Gemini with the Queen of Swords. You have a choice, Taurus, plain and simple, to step outside of this energy. And, you know, the Lover's card, yes, soulmate, soul connections, love, partnership, romance, blah, 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 blah. Maybe that's the thing that made you feel scorned. Maybe that's the thing that made you feel angry. And it doesn't have to be romantic. Something here, like, at some point in your life, put a knife in your back. You have yet to forgive that. Or you could just feel that way, Spirit is saying. They're bringing me in so many like little clips of messages for you guys. I said this to, who was it the other day I did a reading for? It might have been Cancer or Pisces. No, we may not have control over what happens externally, but we have control over how we handle ourselves. We have to do the healing from an experience. That becomes our responsibility, our accountability. We hold ourselves accountable in a situation and go, what did I learn from this? Queen of Swords, in any position but the upright, doesn't want to see something. She doesn't want to address herself. It's like, okay, let's just forget this ever happened and move on. But that seething is coming through. That resentment of situations is coming through. The fear of change is coming through. The Fool. I said earlier about risk, right? That is the Fool. Starting a new journey, beginning again. There's a fear around the fact that this Queen of Swords coming out like this doesn't want to have to start that journey again. That 9, right? I said holding back, she's restricted. Is that the word I used? Doesn't want to have to take that leap. There's something about that leap. There's a pause. I said competition. Are we vying for like boss bitch energy? Is that what this is? Because there's something here that says, I could take that leap, but I don't want to. I want to do it on my terms. Taurus, sometimes we can't do it on our terms. All right? It's just a no-go, Spirit is saying. The Moon. With the Hermit and the Libra, or the Libra card, the Justice card. Taurus, you're getting ready to, Spirit's using the word catapult, and there you are. Taurus, I was going to say, and there's 2 more major arcanas here at the bottom of the deck, right? Yep, just 2. Justice, the Hermit, the Moon. The Hierophant, the Temperance card. 5 major arcanas. You're getting ready to be thrown into a sea of your emotions that is meant for your growth. So for those of you who haven't made, or you may feel like you haven't made progress, the stagnancy, that, you know, there's a certain cycle on repeat from upwards of 3+ years ago. Get ready, because Spirit's coming in and going, we're throwing you to the wolves. What illusion has been happening back here with that smoke that I seen in the beginning of this reading with the other deck? That's illusions. You can't see through the smoke. It's clouded. The Moon. Fear. I talked about that fear. There's fear in this. There's illusions in this. Things done in the dark coming to the light. A submersion of that water energy, pushing you into it. It's like Spirit, the Hierophant, highly spiritual card, right? Pushing you, because this has to be balanced. And then you got the 6 of Pentacles back there, the 6 of Cups. you're going to have to address whatever this is that you have refused to address. And it's like, I'm just going to keep doing this. I know this. This is the tested way. This is what I know. I know how to move through this. I can go into this on autopilot. This isn't about your work. This isn't about your relationships. This is about you. This is about your growth. This is about your heart space. This is about scorned energy. This is about projection. It's about judgment. You can't be that way for so long that it's like, okay, you think about it. Like, you get into an argument with someone, right? Put it into perspective. You get into an argument with somebody and, you know, they say what they have to say and you say what you have to say. And you've made your point. You've said that one thing that was the, you know, the punchline, whatever you want to call it, the main objective in the situation. And you walk away. But then you let the ego take over. And you come back around and you start beating a dead horse. And then you say meaner, ruder, more brash and disharmonized things. It's like, is what I'm saying necessary? Do you ever say that thing? It's like, is it kind? Is it necessary? And I forget what else it says. Is it necessary to come back and communicate this? And it's not. Spirit is showing me you coming back into it because there's anger and there's hurt and there's resentment and there's pain attached to that communication. Yes, you may have a very valid point in something. I'll give you that. However, A, is it for everybody? B, is it your judgment? And C, is it your pain? Talking. Because I think that's what this is. I don't think, I know. Per Spirit, I know this. You cannot stay there, Taurus. You cannot stay there. Your stubborn ways have got to be rectified. And I will say that to Scorpio, I will say that to Leo, I will say that to Aquarius, and I will say that to you. There is not a single one of us in there, myself included, that we don't need to self-examine and address where we need to be more flexible. That we can't change a way of thinking because we're afraid to take that next step. For whatever reason, we're afraid to move. We're afraid to see ourselves where we're not healthy. Damn it, I don't care what sign you are. You've got to put the work in it. I don't care. You could be sitting in this, you know, I'm going to call it a position as to where I sit right now. Years of experience in working on myself and the healing work. Don't ever think that you're not in a space that you can't do more healing. You are never so great that you don't have work to do. Be humble. Oh, and there's that 9 of Wands. And I'm going to tell you, somebody could have come at you or vice versa, right? And said these things. Or are going to say these things. And you're like, me? Why me? Or they're like, oh, me? Why would you say that to me? Like, just, oh. If the shoe fits, wear it. Whether it's you or someone else. If the shoe fits, wear it. You may not like it, but it's the truth. King of Cups. I'm going to leave that sucker sit there. Scorpio crossing energy. Again, there's the devil. I don't want to deal with my emotions. I don't want to deal with how toxic my own self can be. I actually wasn't going to clarify any of these. And I thought, oh no, I will. Both cards came out on this very last piece of the Justice, the Hermit, the Moon. Again, another major arcana, Taurus. The Devil. I would love to get a reading without the Devil being in it for you. Virgo, and I said Judgment, right? There it is. The Hermit and Judgment. You've got the Hermit here twice. This is you having to dive beneath the surface and do some self-introspection. What have you learned over the course of this time? If you need to rectify, talk to somebody, clear, cleanse, release, do it. Just do it. If you need to write it, send an email, a text message, just do it. Your fear, 2 cards of fear. The Devil and the Moon holding you back. The Ten of Swords, been there, done that. The Nine of Wands, needing to persevere through this. The Lovers, you need to make a God-blessed choice. What is this Lovers about, Spirit? The Ace of Cups. You loved so, I was going to say, you loved so much it just about killed you. There's the Ten of Swords again. Death to love. It's like, you know, protesting love. Death to love. This shit just hurts. I invested in something, a partner, a friend, a family member, a lover, a job, whatever this was. And it just fucking hurt too much. So now I'm just going to be cold and abrasive forever. I'm just going to say the hell with it. I'm going to self-sabotage. I'm going to do what makes me feel good in the moment. I'm just going to say whatever I want to, do whatever I want to, whenever I want to. Spirit is not going to let that, allow that to continue. Get the Temperance card. Your angels are coming in, Taurus. I hate to go Tower moment here. But I will say this, like right now, stop whatever it is that you're doing before it comes. I tell you the same thing I told Sag. Stop now before it comes. I feel like there's an internal spiral that's happening. And I'm going to repeat a little bit of what I said in Capricorn. You got the Queen of Wands and the Five of Pentacles. You're never so high on your throne that you hold all the power that you can't be brought down to earth. They're going to take you on this journey of having to work on your emotions. And it's probably going to bring you to your knees with that Five of Pentacles. But it's for your betterment in the long run. A very specific message for some of you. Others of you, you're doing the work. Keep going. Like you're doing it. And Spirit's telling me to grab. For those Tauruses, Spirit, that are not dealing with this strategy, you've opened your heart chakra and you're still working on it. There could be a little bit of self-sabotage still happening in some regard. You're going to know where that fits. For some of you, this is more severe than for others, right? But it has to do with the way you communicate outside of yourself. Look at this. Like, I just tried to get some different energy, right? To see, do you see those two? They're freaking damn near identical. Look at that feather. It's writing, it's strategy, it's planning. You can't guard your heart space and sit on your throne at the same time. You're going to have to nurture and care. Look at this. Here's my Tower. Storm, warning, deceit, indecision. Oh, wait. Somewhere back here, there's a little bit of love because someone left you. Someone walked away from you. You're angry. You're hurt. Address it. Address it, Taurus. Address it. Spirit just said you're going to have to share. Whatever that share means, you're going to have to share. Whether it's the spotlight, maybe it's a divorce and there's money. I don't know what's going on there. Your kids, your home, maybe there's a space of property between you and somebody else. You're going to have to share. I don't know. Maybe you're the CEO of a company and all of a sudden they're going, you know, whoever, you know, holds it all, but they've got you at the top. Now there's going to be two of you. I don't want to give that to them. I do it this way. You're going to have to share. I don't know. All right, Spirit. Advice for Taurus. Tough freaking read, Taurus. Tough read. Taurus. Advice for Taurus. Spirit just said you already know. Taurus. Cutting ties, needing to move on, receive what you need, progression arriving. I said talk to the person or whatever this resentment is. There it is. Stop self-indulging. Stop, you know, huffing and puffing to build yourself up to make you feel like you've got something going on there. Clarity, truth, revelations, honor, protection, determination, sword and rose. Truth, that Ace of Swords. I think we've seen that earlier somewhere, didn't we? It's here somewhere. Other advice for Taurus, please, Spirit. Watching, looking, perception, stalking. Stop focusing on the past. Stop focusing on everybody else, Taurus. Focus on you. I said earlier, right? Like, you could be giving somebody advice because you're sitting there watching them do whatever they do, but you're not living by the example. Same thing. Same thing there. You need to ground your energy, Taurus. You're off center. You need to play fair, and you need to do some healing. I don't know what else to say. Like, it was a tough message for me to have to deliver to you guys, but it's going to make the things and the people that come into your world commit to what needs to be done for the right reasons. And as I say that, mirroring each other's self-reflection, introspection, inner wounds. Talked about that hermit there twice. That self-reflection, going within. Somebody is mirroring something back to you, and it may have been something you've done 10 years ago, but you don't like it now that you see it. So that tells me that even if this was something from a long time ago, your feelings, maybe even resentment towards yourself or the way you used to do things is coming to the surface for you, and you haven't forgiven yourself. Maybe you didn't get on that spiritual path back then. Maybe that wasn't your thing, and that's okay. There's no judgment in that whatsoever. But now you have to forgive it. So if you didn't jump on it then, you need to forgive yourself for the now. All right. All right, Taurus. Like, share, subscribe, comment. I'm sending you guys a ton of love. I'm sorry if you feel upset, but, you know, I felt it was necessary. Like, I don't even say that I felt it was necessary. Spirit put the messages through me. It's my job to deliver them. I feel the need to deliver those messages appropriately, and that's what I do. So there's that. But I'm sending you guys a ton of love. Take care of yourselves. If this is you, work on it. If you're dealing with somebody like this, pay attention. Pay attention. All right. So, all right. Sending you tons of love. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you soon.